Chapter 3, Indecent Proposal. As the first rays of morning begin to appear on the horizon, Alexander knocks on your door, his velvety voice filtering through. Lila, how did you sleep? Great. Oh, I didn't sleep a wink after I saw the shape in the corner. The sun is rising, so I have to shut myself away for the remainder of the daylight. I promise to come find you once the sun sets again. Okay, I'll see myself out. You step out of the castle, your thoughts racing, resisting the urge to glance over your shoulder and look for the thing in your room last night. You rub your hands over your arms, quickening your pace as you head down the road towards town. Thank goodness I have two supernaturals looking out for me. I should be fine as long as I'm around one of them. But I don't want to have to rely on them. I've been an independent all my life. I don't want that to have to change now. Whoa, watch your step. You freeze, only spot Skyler right outside the low wooden fencing around Alexander's property. Skyler, what are you doing here? Saving you from being mincemeat, apparently. You follow where he's pointing and notice an open bear trap a few steps away. Oh, that was a close call. Alexander's got traps like that all over his property to keep the wolves away. As if we're dumb enough to step on one of those silver monstrosities. Skyler falls in a step beside you, so close that you can feel the warmth radiating from his body. So this is the part where you thank me for being your knight in shining armor, isn't it? Oh, yeah, thank you. But even Skyler's cocky grin can't put a smile out of you. His grin falls into a frown as you carefully make your way over to him. Is everything okay? Did Alexander do something to you? I swear to... No, nothing like that. That unsettled chill washes over you again, then the words all but spill out from your mouth. It's just I saw something. What, Dracula drinking tepid blood? That'd disturb anybody. No, I saw a shadowy figure in the corner of my room. It spoke to me, said it was coming for me. Oh my god, this sounds so stupid when I say it out loud. Forget it, I was half asleep and imagining things. I was just... up all night thinking. Thinking about what? Thinking about one specific heroic knightly werewolf in particular. It had me tossing and turning in bed. But your attempt to cheerily play things off falls flat, and Skyler's gaze remains uncharacteristically serious. Did it feel like nothing to you? No. It felt like a legitimate something. You jump slightly at the feeling of a finger beneath your chin, but relax as he lifts your gaze to meet his. Then you don't have to treat it like nothing. In fact, I doubt it was. So, I'm glad I came and found you. My knight in shining armor. You know it. I only asked for one thing in return. Everything about him radiates heat, from his touch to his eyes to the glimpse of pointed canines in his easy smile. And what might that be? In return for me serving as your personal bodyguard, you have to go on dates with me. That's it? Hey, it's more than just it to me. You think I'm a player? I want to change your mind. You laugh softly, leaning your weight on the wall between you. So, my opinion of you matters that much. Skyler mirrors your posture and brings your faces closer together. It does. Plus, I can guarantee I'll show you a good time. I can prove it right now if you're brave enough. Show me some thrills. Skyler holds out a hand, and when you take it, laces his fingers through yours. Your stomach gives an eager flip as he starts guiding you towards the woods. But as you head into the trees, you start to wonder what a date in the woods with a werewolf would entail. So I probably should have asked this sooner, but you aren't taking me on a hike, are you? What, not a nature lover? I wouldn't say that, but the lack of sleep and all, I don't exactly have the boundless energy for a trek. Don't worry. You can leave that part to me. And with a mysterious smile, he lets go of your hand and pulls off his clothes. Okay. You watch closely as Skyler's perfectly muscled body stretches and shifts, his limbs growing long and covered with gray-brown fur. Before you know it, there's a huge wolf standing in front of you. He lets out a booming, excitable howl and wiggles his rear, clearly intending you to hop on. Well, this will be the ride of my life, or at least for now. Let's go already. Skyler lets out 2 delighted exhales and lowers himself down so you can hoist yourself onto his back. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm just letting this happen, and that I trust him this much. You grip the fur behind his powerful shoulder blades and he cranes his head to give you a questioning look. I'm ready. He bounds forward with one huge leap that covers so much distance you forget to breathe for a heartbeat. Whoa. You redouble your grip as the forest blurs by, gripping your knees to his sides. You feel like you're aboard a battering ram, feeling the reverberations of each of his paws slamming into the ground and propelling him forward. His peals of laugh-like huffs ricochet joyously off your surroundings, and soon you're laughing along in glee. Ooh, I can't believe this is happening. After a few minutes, he breaks through a line of bushes and stops in front of a steep, cragging incline full of jutting rocks. Looks like a dead end. Do you know a way around? You balk as he takes a step straight towards the incline. Skyler, it's too steep. There's no way. But with a howl, he takes off anyway. You wrap your arms around his furry neck and his paws find purchase in the rocks. Oh my god, you're actually doing it. You let out a whoop as he snakes his way up the incline, his huge form surprisingly nimble. For the first time that you can remember, you stop worrying, hold on tight, and enjoy the ride, knowing that there's nothing to fear with Skyler. At the top of the incline, he takes you through a copse of bushes into a serene clearing with a little lake in the center. Wasn't the necklace around your neck supposed to be like his kryptonite? Just saying. Wow, I never would have guessed this place was up here. They must be resistant to kryptonite. You slide off of Skyler, your knees only slightly wobbly, and grin as he sits and wags his tail excitedly. Take his wolf form in, ask him to shift back. It's his wolf form. I'm gonna take it in. You look him over slowly, taking in his massive bulk, his thick fur, the sheer size of his paws and their claws. He was already impressive as a human. Like this, he'd be able to tear through anything that threatened me. You blink, and suddenly Skyler's standing where his wolf had been a second ago, smirking knowingly. Like what you see that much? You give guard dog a whole new meaning. What's your favorite part of it? Being a wolf whenever you want, Well, I like the power. He stalks closer to you, his gait loping, so similar to what it had been in his wolf form. 4 limbs to propel me forward, a massive stride, the senses of a wolf to guide me. I feel pretty damn unstoppable. He circles slowly around you, one hand catching your waist and turning you to him. I love the adrenaline of sprinting through the woods, the burn in my muscles, the intoxication of being so free. You remember the peals of howling he let out as he carried you here, and you can see the joy reflected in his eyes. He comes to a standstill in front of you, hands on your waist, losing some of its cocky edge. And I like how much aware of nature I am. I can hear things, smell things, see things I can as a human. Like the way up the cliff face? Hardly a cliff face, but yeah, I'm more attuned to every little thing around me. Hardly a cliff face? I was hanging on for dear life, like my arms are sore. Sounds like you could use a massage. I happen to be pretty gifted with my hands. A massage, huh? I accept. Heat swirls in your stomach at the sultry grin on his lips. He turns you around, eliciting a shiver as his hands skim up your back. Tell me where you're the tightest. He kneads at your shoulders, the combination of his firm touch and his breath on the back of your neck lighting you up like a live wire. Right there. You fumble with the clasp of your silver necklace, slipping it off before his fingers travel inward. You groan as his thumbs dig into the base of your neck and feel another puff of laughter against your skin. Feel that good, huh? Your eyes slip shut as he teases and eases your muscles, and you can't help where your imagination goes. His hand sliding lower, fingertips skimming over your stomach, his lips on your neck as his fingers delve into the V between your legs. Oh. You suck in a breath as he digs in a tight knot, only to shiver blissfully as it releases. God, that was amazing. You turn your head to look into his face and realize how close that brings your lips to his. His eyes drop to your mouth. You feel like a molten bolt of anticipation. Kiss him. Exhilaration flowing through you, capture his lips with your own, pressing your body against him for good measure and reveling in the sensation. His hand is on the back of your head at once, holding you to him and his lips moving heatedly, insistently against yours. The deep rumble of the satisfaction in his chest spurs you onward, and you part your lips to his tongue as you roll your pelvis forward. The feel of him in his pants is mouth-watering, and you feel yourself start to grow slick between your thighs. Oh my god, this is too intense. Your breath catches as his lips move to your neck, his hands grasping your waist with a growing abandon. You push back against his shoulders. Down, boy. That's enough for now. But I'm still so hungry. If you're that hungry, how about you take me to dinner instead? It's a date. And with an eager grin, he transforms back into the wolf to take you to town and do just that. The sun is setting over the picturesque rooftops of Hidden Grove as you and Skyler eat dinner at a restaurant in town later, the mood light. I think you were hoping I'd be naked when I shifted back. Has anyone ever told you that you have a humongous ego? You know what they say, when the ego's big, so is... How are things going for you two? Could I get you anything? I changed my mind. I'd like that glass of wine after all. Of course, I'll be right back. Skyler quirks an eyebrow as the waiter walks away. My enormous ego making you thirsty? Is this how you woo all the girls, or am I just this special? Oh, let me put it this way. I don't give all the girls a ride on the Lupine Express. You snort in a very undignified fashion and cover your mouth as the waiter returns with your glass of Pinot Noir. Just what I need. For you, miss. Thank you. Oh! You, Skyler, and the waiter all jump back as the glass shatters without warning. Wine flies everywhere, looking ominously like blood. Ah! And then you notice a shard of glass is embedded deep in the waiter's hand, blood pouring around it. And as the waiter screams, his form shifts. The waiter's face grows long, transforming into a snout as horns emerge from his head and dark hair begins to cover his body. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! You're a supernatural. As the waiter anxiously stomps his hooves as though preparing to charge, some humans at the restaurant begin to notice and jump from their seats. Mama, there's a monster! Amir, get behind me. You too, Lila. We need to get out of here before things go even more south. Skyler takes your wrist and guides you out of the restaurant. You still hear screams from inside, and your stomach sinks. The way the glass broke wasn't normal. Could this be my bad luck following me again? It's Pack Alpha. I should go back and handle this, but I don't want to leave you unprotected. Who knows what caused this? Skyler... I'll find you as soon as you're done. You reach up and cup his face gently, offering him a reassuring smile. Now go and impress me by saving the day. Promise you won't keep me waiting. Suddenly you feel a cool rush of air at your back, and an equally cool, familiar voice speaks up from behind you. I'll take things from here, Lila. You should return to the chaos inside. Skyler's expression darkens, his muscles tensing as though preparing for a fight. What are you doing here, vampire? Seeing what all the commotion is about. I shouldn't be surprised that you spend 5 minutes with Lila and she ends up nearly impaled by glass while a minotaur goes rampant. What? Like you have such a great track record with your romantic interests? You feel the air palpably turn to ice between them, their glares nearly as sharp as shattered glass. Skyler, Focus on the issue at hand. There's a crisis happening inside, remember? In fact, I think he forgot. Skyler tenses as Alexander steps beside you, his cool presence all enveloping. Just make sure you keep an eye on her. I'm quite capable. With one more glare, Skyler turns on his heel and strides back into the restaurant. Come, let's distance ourselves from the commotion. It's making my temples ache. I'm so like a vampire, I'm serious. As you accompany Alexander down the quieter streets of town, you catch glimpses of his tense face beneath the street lamps. Is everything alright? No offense, but you don't look so good. A faint smirk of laughter curls the corner of his mouth, and he rubs at his temples. The commotion interfered with my breakfast. Suddenly, the glimpse of his fangs feel more menacing. You become all more aware you're walking beside a vampire. A hungry vampire. You glance at the trees of the nearby forest. Do you need to feed? It can wait. I dare not leave your side with this entity on the loose. But the fear thrumming in your heart is overtaken by a stronger sensation, curiosity. I can keep you company while you hunt. I'll just, stay back out of the way. Certainly not. Near a hunting vampire is no place for a human. Come on. You just promised Skyler you'd protect me, and you can't do that when you're hungry. I don't see any other option. Unless you think it's wise to purposely keep yourself at less than full strength when there's potentially something supernatural out to get me. His tense expression twitches, clearly failing to find a retort to your logic. Very well, but you will stay out of the way. You expect silence the entire time you're in the woods, so you're surprised when he sneaks up from a few paces ahead of you after a few minutes. While animal blood does sustain me, it doesn't actually keep me at full strength. Not that you should be concerned. He glances over his shoulder at you. I'm quite formidable, regardless. I've witnessed. What kind of animals do you feed off of? You have a favorite? You seem like a woman with discerning taste. I'd like you to choose my breakfast menu. Really? Oh, sure. We have a deer or a bear? Okay, that's just a tease right there. I'm gonna do it. I'm sure I'm the sweetest treat in these woods, after all. You're thrilled by your own daring, and here Alexander let out the quietest chuckle, then his amused gaze rests on you. Are you revealing a masochistic streak to me, Lila? His rare grin is breathtaking, sultry, inviting, but also a warning of danger as the tips of his fangs glint in the moonlight. You're entranced. So entranced that you don't notice the brambles until you're walking into them, tripping and getting tangled as you fall. Lila. In a blink, he's behind you, pulling you out of the brambles with surprisingly tender touch. Thanks, I'm fine. That was just, God, so embarrassing. You aren't fine. Your insides turn to ice at his tone and realize his fingers have clenched around your wrist. And look down and you see the bloody scrape on your palm. Oh God, that can't be good. A ripple of tension crosses his face and your stomach drops as a crimson hue enters his irises, suddenly pushes away from you. Excuse me. Clean yourself up. I need to... Without finishing his thought and without looking at you, he throws you a handkerchief and stalks off deeper in the woods. You follow what you hope is a safe distance behind, hand wrapped in the handkerchief, eyes on the tense lines of his back. Suddenly a rustle starts in the underbrush and out comes... Oh, I guess that little guy's breakfast. But he doesn't strike. To your growing surprise, he backs away from the fawn, prompting the creature to scamper back into the cover of the trees. Alexander, why didn't you? He's quiet for so long, face turned away, that you don't think he's going to answer. When he does, his voice is quiet. I don't enjoy the suffering of other creatures. To feed on young feels exceptionally cruel, so I don't. I wish I would prefer to have someone consent to me feeding on them. But of course animals can't do that. That's attractive. Consent is sexy, after all, especially when there's blood play involved. His eyes go round, the hungry look of them intensifying as they rest on you. Do you realize how dangerous those words are? You know, I have blood, and I'd consent if you wanted to drink it. The admission, the sheer admission you're offering yourself up to sends tingles through your body. He sucks in a breath. Even if that were the case, his tongue darts out to lick the tip of his fangs, his red gaze ravenous. It would be all too easy for me to take a little too much, to lose control. With the gravel in his voice, the sheer hunger is like a line pulling you to him to take a step nearer, tilting your head. I trust you, not to fall over the edge. He's as still as a statue as your heartbeat thumps in your neck, then slowly he reaches halfway. Have his fill. You take his hand and guide him to a deeper, quieter part of the forest. Alexander, you have my full permission to drink for me, as much as you need. His eyes alight with excitement. He reaches the rest of the way, taking your waist. Tell me where. His husky voice isn't the only thing that sends goosebumps across your skin. I get to decide? It's only right. Then I want you to bite my... There's so many other delicate places you can bite, but moving on. Sure, neck. It might be a little cliche, but it's one for a reason. You remove your silver necklace, and Alexander angles his mouth towards your neck. You feel his breath on your skin, thrills running like electricity beneath your skin. Oh god, this is really happening. You feel his lips, then his teeth, and the sharp pain of the puncture making you wince. Ah! Forgive me. His cool voice is like a balm, and then his lips seal to your neck, hot tongue lapping as he sucks up your blood. Oh. He lets out a groan so raw, so unbridled your knees buckle, but he catches you by the waist and cradles you against his body. Your own body pangs with arousal as the sensation of him drinking you, so intimate you find yourself clutching at his shirt, your breasts coming in sharp pants. Even though you can tell he's ravenous and can feel it with every pull he takes at your neck, the way he holds you is purely protective, and so you let go. Your body relaxes, putting yourself in the hands is liberating. I could get addicted to this. A sliver of reason breaks through the lust fogging your mind, and you realize you still have enough wits about you to push him away, or decide to give yourself over even more. The sensations are too intoxicating. You bury your fingers in his hair, holding this to you as he continues to suck. Your heart swims deliciously as he continues to lap at your neck, and you feel his heart hammering against yours. He takes one final lick and then pulls back just enough for you to feel cool air against your skin. Lila. But his gaze doesn't lift from the puncture mark. His entire body is still taut, his eyes blazing red, his lips hovering over your vein. This might be getting dangerous. I need to snap him out of it. You gently but firmly take his face in your hands, lifting his face so that he has to look at yours. Lila. You cup his jaw in one hand, wiping your blood off his lips with the other. His eyelids flutter as he blinks several times, bringing a hand over his face as he regains himself. Thank you for stopping me. That was... But your vision suddenly swims, and as you sway, his eyes widen in alarm. I feel... The next thing you know, you're cradled in his arms, your face tucked against his neck as he holds you close. Nice catch. I promise not to let anything happen to you. You feel his cool lips brush softly, tentatively against the top of your head. Thank you, Lila. Your blood, it's unlike anything I've ever tasted. That much better than animal blood? You lift your head and try to smile teasingly at him, but he looks at you with such an intensity your breath catches in your lungs. So much better, it's maddening. The smear of your blood on his lip sends a shiver through you, and you realize how alive your body feels, still tingling from his touch. You give in to your greatest desire, capture his blood-smeared lips with your own, gasping as he kisses you back at once. His hands are on your face, practically worshipful, and your lips part and his tongue meets yours. Oh. You don't bother holding back the little sighs and moans you make, letting yourself enjoy, feel, taste. And that's the headiest part, the metallic tang of your blood in his mouth, the way you share in the flavor. He growls and breaks the kiss with obvious reluctance. Is it always like that? You hold each other's gaze, the connection between you so intense it feels impossible to look away. I admittedly do not have much experience feeding from humans, but no, I think it's rarely like that. Chest still heaving from the potency of the feeding, his crimson gaze is pinned to you. Part of you wonders if he's going to pounce. I have a proposal for you. I will give myself to you as your personal protector, if you allow me to drink from you as I need. Really? Your blood, it's powerful. I feel stronger than I have in decades. You can hear it in his voice, a kind of drunkenness, an energy that you feel shivering in the air between you. I like having that kind of power over you. I don't want to be your personal blood bag. Being the one to make a powerful being even more powerful? That's thrilling. It's rare that I would allow such a thing, but there is something about you. You take a few steps while you ponder the offer as Alexander follows right behind, but when you hear a deep snarl from the bushes, you realize too late. We've crossed over into werewolf territory. Thought you were smarter than that, Dracula. Skyler stalks out of the underbrush, flanked by two wolves, their forms shifting into Grace and Rowan. Poaching on werewolf land, vampire. I honestly didn't think you'd stoop so low. Please, wait, this isn't what it looks like. Oh yeah, because it looks to me like Jaws over here was hunting on our grounds. But he wasn't hunting, he was... Clap a hand over your puncture marks on your neck and exchange an uneasy look with Alexander. Skyler lets out a derisive snort. Guys, you can leave, I'll deal with this myself. Grace and Rowan nod and leave with twin glares, their footsteps growing more and more distant. So, vampire, care to explain yourself? Actually, I wouldn't. Not when you use that tone with me. You bitter, a human. On my territory. We could rip you to pieces for that. No, Skyler, you can't. This is a misunderstanding. It's no crime if she offered. Skyler recoils visibly, only to tighten his fist, muscle seeming to grow with his anger. Bullshit! You used your mind powers on her, didn't you? I would never stoop so low. I vowed to protect her, and I am a man of my word. Ripping into her throat and sucking her dry doesn't sound like protection to me. That's because you don't know the first thing about offering true protection. You are reckless and will get her killed. They're both losing control. Skyler's eyes turning amber, his teeth lengthening into a snarl. Alexander settling into a terrifying, deadly calm. How about I just let the boys go at it? I'm serious. Skyler. You jump between them and turn to Skyler, placing your hands on his warm shoulders and squeezing until he looks at you. Hey, you need to cool down and breathe. You know you don't want to escalate and start a war or something crazy. Slowly, the tension in his body relaxes. His shoulders dropping, he lets out a half-hearted chuckle. Man, stopping me from starting dogfights now. You feel Alexander's jealous gaze on the two of you, turn to address both of them at once. Look, there's no need for you to fight. I agree to both of your offers. Both? What did he... Skyler, I accept your protection during the day in return for going on dates with you. How childish. Alexander, I accept your protection at night and you can drink my blood in return. That's despicable! But this arrangement is purely tactical. I'm not going to belong to either of you. You're each doing something for me, and I'm doing something for you in return, understood? They both blink in surprise, but you don't waver. I understand. Yeah, same. But the werewolf and I will need to iron out some details if we are both going to serve as your protectors. You took the words right out of my mouth, Batman! Ugh. As you stand in the middle of the two supernaturals, each radiating power, you can't help but think, I hope I'm making the right decision here. What other decision can you make? Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to support the channel. Other than that, there's also a pinned comment down below. Consider checking that out and supporting that way as well. Aside from that, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Oh, God. You know, as a guy, I'm just gonna say this. As a guy, I don't understand it. And it happens with women too. Don't at me, but it happens with women too. Everybody acts so childish. Like, people go off half-cocked, right? People go and get antsy or angry or whatever. They jump the gun on a single word anymore nowadays without even knowing the full situation. And people do this often now. And then, you know, here I am. I'm a guy, right? But I'm also someone who relies entirely on my intellect more so than my emotions. I keep those in check. And it's just... it bewilders me how people will go off half-cocked, they'll go off on a word, they'll go off on whatever, and then they'll apologize to you in private. They won't do it publicly in front of the people that, you know, they jumped you or whatever. You know, they'll never say in front of everyone that, you know, they kind of were being, making you into the villain, right? They'll never do it in front of one another. Right, and this is just a prime example because it's something I actually encountered today, and it's something that I encounter quite often, is people will just jump at a word, jump at something, and then, you know, kind of like infer or condemn you or whatnot, and then they'll find out the full story later. And then they'll come to you in private and be like, I'm so sorry. Listen, how about this? How about I march your ass in front of all those people that you are trying to portray me as the villain for, and how about you apologize in front of them to me? How about that? I would feel much better. And they never want to do that. It's wild. They never, ever want to do that. They constantly want to just, you know, just do it in private. It blows my mind, because then, you know, they're like, there's always times after. Like, I've seen this with my own two eyes. Not just involving me, but other people. Where, they're back at it again. Whether it be a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years down the road. And then it's, well, you remember that one time. And then they'll never remember, and they'll never know that that person actually did apologize to you. And they were in the wrong, because it was never done in front of them. And everyone realized, okay, they didn't have the full picture, so they aren't the villain. They aren't the bad guy. But they were portrayed that way. Okay. And it just happens all the time. And I get so bloody tired of it. And something that I'm seeing happen more and more lately, on not just, you know, the internet, but in real life too. And it's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know, maybe some of you can explain to me in the comments, but I have never done it. I'm a person who sits there, and I would rather quietly seethe and collect as much information and much knowledge and whatnot, whether it take me a day, an hour, a minute, whatever, how long it takes. But I don't open my mouth until I know everything. And then, when I have an insurmountable amount of things, and as much evidence as I can gain and have, then I will look at it all and formulate my response. And Like, it just seems like no one does that. I'm the only one playing by my rules. You know, it's supposed to be life's rules and how the way life is, but they just play by their own. I don't know. Like I said, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, but, and it's always portrayed as guys, too. It's not just guys. I hate to tell you this. Women do it, too. Like I said, today I had it actually happen to me, and it was a woman, and the whole situation that I just kind of described, and it happens. It happens. And then they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know the... Exactly. You didn't know the full story because you wanted to jump on the first word or sentence. I know. And it's just... I wasn't the one that proved them incorrect. So that's the kicker. So it just, I don't know. Life is so bloody complicated, and it doesn't have to be. I guess I'm the only one who solved that. Maybe I should sell my secrets. I don't know. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.